Hey guys, Carl here, and welcome to another episode of AvGeek Brief, where we try to tell you everything you need to know in about 2 minutes. Today, we're talking about the private pilot license and the private pilot certificate. Which one should you get? Alright guys, in this video we're talking about the differences between the private pilot license and the private pilot certificate, because there is a big difference. But before we do, let's get that countdown started. Alright. So we make a lot of videos to inspire new pilots and help them along the way, or at least that's what we think we do. But some people hate it when we say private pilot license instead of private pilot certificate, and you may be asking, well, aren't they the same thing? Well, yes and no. To help out with the difference, we reached out to CF Brian Turner of the YouTube channel Just Plain Silly to help us explain it.
There's a lot of debate out there about whether a new pilot should be going for a private pilot certificate or a private pilot license. And look, as an experienced expert pilot, I'm going to say you want to go for the license every time. Why? Certificates are generally on paper. I've got a scuba cert here, I've got a certification for some programming I did, I got a certification for coloring inside the lines in the 3rd grade. These are paper. You don't want your aviation career to be based on a piece of paper that could get lost, torn, shredded, what have you. A pilot license, on the other hand, is much more durable and much more practical. You have a driver's license, you want a pilot's license. This thing is so much better, it's safe for the environment, and there's a lot of great bonus features to having it. What happens if you've got a paper certificate and you have a fire in your plane? Well, guess what? It's going to go up in flames. Now, when you get on the ground, how are you going to prove to the authorities that you're even a pilot? Your certificate has just burned up. A real pilot license, on the other hand, is scratch-proof, tear-proof, and completely burn-proof. It's not going to catch on fire while you're in the... It's not going to catch on fire while you're in the... you know what? Probably just go for whichever one you want. Doesn't really matter.
Oh my gosh. Okay, maybe we shouldn't have done that. I am full of regret. Anyways, straight and to the point, there's no such thing as a private pilot license. It's actually called a private pilot certificate. Now, if you call it a license, don't worry. A vast majority of people do, and the FAA knows it. I mean, check out their website. Much like the FAA recognizes that a lot of people call it a license, we do too, and use license instead of certificate in a lot of our videos, so people who are interested in learning to fly, who still call it a license, can find what they're looking for. I mean, look what happens when you type private pilot into Google. Even Google calls it a license. But that still doesn't change the fact that it's actually a certificate. Now, there are some people in aviation that are real sticklers for only calling it a certificate and get really grouchy about it. I mean, seriously, go check out the comments on some of my other videos. Anyways, my advice is to know that it's a private pilot certificate, but call it what you want. Everyone's gonna know what you're talking about. Alright guys, I have no idea on the time for this one, and I'm not even gonna pretend that I have a watch on, but it should be in the ballpark. Anyways, that's everything you need to know about the private pilot license. Certificate. Crap. Hey guys, thanks for watching the video, and honestly, if you call it a license and someone gets all bent to shape out of it, you don't need that person in your life. Anyways, if you liked the video, give it a like, subscribe to see what we're doing next, consider supporting us on Patreon or buying us a coffee, and as always, share aviation wherever you can, and we'll see you in the next one.